It was supposed to be a new beginning for 35-year-old Noah Carter, a single dad with hands rough from construction work and a heart still scar from the past. Tonight was just another leap of faith into the unknown. His sister had set him up on a blind date. She's a teacher, stable, sweet, and probably just as exhausted by life as you are. She'd tease over the phone. Noah wasn't interested in romance anymore. Not after losing his wife in a car accident 4 years ago. But when his 9-year-old daughter Lily climbed into his lap one night and asked, "Daddy, don't you want someone to make you smile again?" he knew he had to try. Not for himself, but for her. So, here he was, nervously adjusting his only good shirt, hair still slightly damp from the quickest shower he'd managed in weeks, walking hand in hand with Lily into a small cafe nestled under a string of warm fairy lights. "Promise I'll just sit and color." "Daddy," Lily whispered, clutching her sketchbook and crayons. He smiled down at her. "You're my best girl. You can do anything you want." They stepped inside. The cafe was cozy, filled with the smell of cinnamon pastries and fresh espresso. A gentle acoustic song played overhead. "Reservation for Carter," Noah said. "Right this way." The host smiled. "Table for 3. Technically 2. Noah chuckled. "She just doesn't like being left out." They were seated by the window. Outside, light rain tapped against the glass. Inside, Noah checked his watch. The date was already 10 minutes late. 2 tables away. A girl named Grace watched quietly. She wasn't part of the plan. Grace was 23, a college senior studying literature, juggling 2 part-time jobs just to afford rent and textbooks. She had just finished her cafe shift and was nursing a lukewarm chai while highlighting her notes. She had meant to eavesdrop, but how could she not? She saw the man, handsome but tired, nervous, and she saw the little girl with gentle eyes and pigtails coloring quietly. Then she saw the 3rd chair empty. 20 more minutes passed. Noah sighed and rubbed his temple. Maybe she got stuck in traffic. Or maybe she saw your construction boots and got scared. Lily giggled innocently. He laughed. "Thanks for the vote of confidence, kiddo." But Grace saw the flicker of sadness. He tried to hide. She didn't think. She just moved. "Hi," she said, walking over, clutching her chai nervously. "Sorry to interrupt. I just saw you waiting. And I hate seeing nice people get stood up." Noah looked up, surprised. Yeah. Guess you bailed." Grace gave a shy smile. "Well, I'm not your date, but would it be weird if I sat with you guys for a bit? I'm off duty and I've got time." Lily grinned. "Are you going to be Daddy's new date?" Grace laughed. "Maybe just a friend." Noah chuckled. "That would be more than okay." What began as awkward small talk quickly turned into something deeper. She talked about literature, her dream to become a writer. He shared stories from his construction sites. Lily chimed in with her fascination for stars and space, proudly telling Grace about her science fair project on black holes. And then the real things came out. How Noah had been alone since his wife's death. How Grace was raised by her older sister after their parents disappeared from the picture. How both had known grief too early. Lily nestled between them. Eventually dozed off with her head on Grace's shoulder. Grace didn't move. Then it happened. 35 minutes late. The real date arrived. Blonde, tall, heels clicking, perfume strong. She scanned the room and spotted them, her eyes narrowed. "Well, I guess I'm late for a reason." Noah stood gently lifting Lily's head onto a rolled-up jacket. "We waited," he said kindly. "But maybe this was supposed to happen instead." The woman scoffed. "Next time maybe try dating someone your own age." Grace flushed, about to apologize and retreat, but Noah touched her arm gently. "Please don't go. You made this night better." The woman left in a huff. Grace stayed. 3 weeks later they weren't dating. Not officially. But Grace had become a regular part of their lives. Library trips turned into pancake breakfast. Park visits turned into late-night conversations. Grace helped Lily build a rocket model for school and brought homemade bookmarks for her books. And every evening after Grace left, Noah found himself smiling at the door for a little longer than necessary. Then came the moment. was a Thursday. Noah had an interview with a company that offered health benefits, better pay, and finally some hope. But his truck wouldn't start. Rain poured. Lily had a cold. Noah stood in his driveway defeated. And then through the rain, a dented blue Honda pulled up. Grace stepped out, soap but smiling. "Get in. You're not missing this." He stared at her. "Grace, why you keep showing up for us?" She looked at him, eyes steady. "Because you deserve someone who chooses you, even when life doesn't. And Lizzie deserves a dad who knows he doesn't have to carry everything alone." He didn't speak. He just got in the car, heart full for the first time in years. He got the job. But more than that, he got someone who believed in him even before he believed in himself. For picnic. Lily chasing bubbles under the sun. Noah and Grace sitting on a blanket. He pulled out a fold of paper. It was one of Lily's drawings. 3 stick figures all holding hands. One had a yellow hard hat. One had brown curly hair and glasses. The third wore a red-bound crayon. "My family." Noah handed the paper to Grace. "She already sees you as part of us," he said quietly. "Would you be okay if we call this our first real date?" Grace smiled, eyes misty. "Only if there's a second. Love doesn't always arrive in perfect timing or with roses and grand entrances. Sometimes it shows up with rain-soaked shoes, coloring books, and unexpected kindness. Sometimes love finds you exactly when you stop looking for it, and it stays. Because healing begins when 2 broken souls realize they don't have to be alone anymore." Gift baskets.